Hi folks, my name is Jeff Ferris. The only thing I enjoy more than working in my garden is eating the food that comes out of it. And I love to cook it as well. Today we're going to make roasted tomato sauce. I've got some heirloom tomatoes that I picked this morning, along with some peppers, both sweet and hot. And we have some onions that have been curing outside for about 2 weeks after I picked them. We're going to put these together, roast them on the grill, and then mill the sauce to get rid of all the seeds and skins. We'll start by taking all of our tomatoes, cutting away any nasty little bits and the stem. Then we'll chunk it into nice big chunks and pop those into the pan. So now we have 8 pounds of tomatoes. To that, we're going to add some peppers now. This is an Emerald Giant. It's a relative of the bell pepper. A little bit more flavor than just a regular bell. We're going to take the ribs out and the seeds. Tear it up in a few pieces. Throw it in the pot. Now let's put some heat to it. This is a jalapeno. We'll split that in half. Pop some, but not all of the seeds out. Here's a cayenne. Split that in half. Here's an interesting pepper. This is a fish pepper. It's native to Africa. The plant is a beautiful variegated foliage, and you can see that the pepper is variegated as well. And they are hot. Not, I would say probably on par with a habanero. A little hotter than the cayenne. So we're only going to put one of those in. Now let's put some garlic in. Now the garlic I'm using today is a hardneck garlic. And you'll see when I get some of the paper peeled away here and get the clove open that there's a central stem. Now that central stem is what distinguishes a hardneck garlic from the traditional soft necks. Soft necks are what you get at the supermarket. The hardneck garlic does not store quite as well as a soft neck, but it has absolutely spectacular flavor. And we're just going to mash those out a little bit, get rid of some of the paper, and pop them into the top of our sauce. We're going to add some nice little onions. These are Grand X onions, the particular variety that's grown in Vidalia, Georgia. And the last thing to do is to add some aromatics. So we're going to take our roaster and we're going to take some fresh thyme that I just picked out of the garden a few minutes ago. Sprinkle some of that in here. Now we have some Genovese basil. We're going to tuck that in. I want to get those basil leaves down in the tomatoes. And now we have some fresh oregano. And we're going to drop that fresh oregano right in here. Okay, our roasted tomato sauce is ready to go on the grill. Last summer I made this same roasted tomato sauce and I did it inside in the oven. Today it's 98 and that air conditioner you hear running in the background hasn't shut off for 2 days. I don't want to get the house any hotter than it has to be. Plus I love to cook outside. I love the flavor that the grill imparts. Today the grill that I'm using is a Big Green Egg. We're going to take a couple of chunks of hickory and toss them in there right on top of the hot coals. I've got my fire stabilized to the point where it's running right about 375 degrees. This little piece that I just dropped in here is called a spider. Anytime you're turning a grill into an oven, the thing that you have to do is eliminate the direct heat coming off the coals and hitting the bottom of your pot or your food. When you want to oven cook, we have to put a thermal barrier between the fire and our food. And that spider is there so it can hold up this ceramic pizza stone. So now that ceramic has created a barrier between the coals and the bottom of my pot. Now we'll take the grill, drop it on there. My hickory is just starting to smoke. We're going to take our pot, drop it right in there, close the top, and I know about where to set my vents to maintain that 375 degree temperature. We've got both our top and bottom vents set. We're going to leave this alone now and let it go for about an hour and a half. After the first half hour, I gave the sauce a quick stir. The vegetables were still intact and the juice was just beginning to render. After an hour, the juice was level with the vegetables. At an hour and a half, the vegetables were beginning to cook down to the mash I was looking for. I added a sprinkle of sea salt and a drizzle of olive oil. I opened the vents to bump the temperature to 400 degrees for the last half hour. After the sauce cooled a bit, I ran it through the food mill attachment to my mixer. This separates the juice and fine pulp of the sauce from the seeds, skins, and stems. The final step is to add the sauce to a stock pot on the stove. Turn the heat to medium and bring the sauce up to a simmer. Add about a half a bottle of Chardonnay. Once the sauce reaches a simmer, we'll allow it to go for about 5 minutes to cook off some of the alcohol. For the two of us, 1 pint of sauce works perfectly. This sauce is great by itself or as the foundation to a meat sauce. This method is very flexible and allows you to use what you have. This time around, I used 8 pounds of tomatoes, 3 sweet peppers, 3 cayenne peppers, 1 fish pepper, 3 jalapenos, 3 white onions, 1 large shallot, 1 head of garlic, and a handful each of basil, thyme, and oregano. I cooked it for an hour and a half at 350 degrees and then a final half hour at 400 degrees. It yielded 3 pints of sauce.